I'm just wondering whether we should start this next one. I'm just waiting for something to come down, so sorry. So we'll move on to the Duncan's Building Heritage Incentive Grant. Phil, can I hand back to you?
Yes, well, these buildings are well known too, are more well known, like the Duncan's Building in High Street, which have become, the issue has come before this council before, but basically you might remember there's 8 commercial units all in a row, and the aim with this heritage grant, which is for 362,600 I think, was to really preserve the really beautiful facade. You might remember that previously there have been trees growing along here. There's been some debate about this part of High Street, but these are the buildings. But the total work is over $700,000 and the grant application is $362,000, as I say. So the committee recommended that council support it, and there might be some other discussion around it though.
Right. So you'd like to move it?
I'll move it.
And seconded by Mike. So questions?
I just kind of wanted to check, I don't think staff are here, so I mean basically the government have set up a heritage grant for this exact sort of thing, and we don't seem to be getting...
For Category 1 and Category 2
yeah.
historic places on the New Zealand Heritage List that are of national significance.
Right.
That's what you've sent through.
Yeah, so this building is registered as Category 2 by Heritage New Zealand.
But is it a nationally significant heritage building?
Yeah.
Not a Group 2.
Yeah.
Eh?
Group 2.
No, but it says it only is to assist private owners of nationally significant heritage buildings. So, sorry, I've only just received this. So why don't we have an additional recommendation
that we investigate
the applicability of the heritage of the heritage equip program, which is Heritage Earthquake Upgrade Incentive Program. Investigate. It's all capitals for equip because it's short for. Yeah. Investigate. No, UIP. Yeah. And so request staff investigate, take out the word of, the heritage equip. Well, instead of program, because that's what the P stands for, can you change that to initiative? And whether any funding for this project would be able to be or whether any funding, whether this project would qualify for any funding. Is that all right?
Yeah, I mean basically the issue with these grants is that they actually require match funding as well, and they even make reference to local authority match funding. Yeah. So
Brendan, come to the end. We're just adding a line in there. Councillor Johansson's raised the question of the Heritage Equip initiative, which was announced by the Minister following the November 2016 earthquakes. It's for nationally significant buildings that are privately owned that are earthquake prone, and whether they fit on the historic places list Category 1 and Category 2 in medium and high risk areas. So we don't know whether the buildings qualify or whether, so we've just put in here request staff investigate the initiative and whether this project would qualify for funding.
The thing with the equip funding scheme is, yes, it's national, it's meant for high status buildings. It's also meant for those buildings that are not damaged it's a proactive scheme to take buildings out of earthquake-prone status.
Right.
So we're dealing with buildings that have already been damaged and are earthquake-prone for either damage reasons or for the same reasons as possibly other buildings that are not.
So they wouldn't qualify, so there's no point asking you to...
They might, but the other factors to bear in mind, obviously there are two funding phases throughout the year that have close-off dates.
Yep.
And they may not work with the timeframes that are currently underway for this set of buildings. The owner of these buildings has already kicked off and started some of the work.
Yeah.
Whether or not they believe that they've got a chance to, that there's nothing stopping them applying for that fund, but what the fund administrators might say to them is, look, you're not earthquake strengthening this building. What you're doing is you're demolishing everything except the facade, retaining the facade, and then tying a whole new building onto the back of that facade. So in effect, you're not actually upgrading a building. You're building a new building with the facade of the old building, which you use the new building to tie onto.
So we'll leave it like it is.
I'd be surprised if it qualified, basically.
Yeah, I would be surprised too, having read what Yanni sent through, but you know, I don't know for sure.
Yeah. But that's not to say that there aren't other buildings that we've recommended people apply for that fund.
Right.
So yes, we know about it, and there may be other buildings which are more suitable for it, where you've got a bit more time and a bit more ability to save the entire building.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right, so I'll put that motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. Thank